We need to discuss the MCQ questions from the 11th question to the 20th question. The 11th question is somewhat easy. What is the required mass of water to obtain 0.25 moles of water? For these type of questions, you need to draw a chart first. They have given you 0.25 grams, 25 moles of water for the H2O. They are asking what is the mass of this sample. What is the equation that you should use? It is simple and equal. Simple M divided by capital M. Number of moles they have given this. The mass you have to find that. This is the molar mass. You have to find that using the relative atomic masses. So the relative atomic mass of one hydrogen is 1 and oxygen is 60. As there are 2 hydrogens, you need to multiply by 2 and add 16. 2 plus 16 it is 18. So you have to put 18 here. Okay. So the mass you need to cross multiply this 2 and the mass equal 0.25 into 18. So the answer is, you can simply write 0.25 as 1 over 4 into 18. I am simplifying this because some of you do not know how to do these simplification questions as well. So you have to divide 18 by 4. Then 4 into 4, 16. 2 is remaining. You have to take a 0 so far. The answer is 4.5 grams. So the answer is the second one. Okay, it's the 11th question. And for the 12th question, select the response which contains features common to aves and mammalian. You need to select the features common to aves and mammalian. Let's see. Presence of eyelids. Do aves have these eyelids? Yes, aves means birds. Aves have. Mammalians? Yes, they also have those eyelids. So, what about 4-chambered heart? I will put it like this. Wait. Eyelids. 4-chambered heart. Yes, they both have the 4-chambered heart and the presence of light bony skeleton. Light bony skeleton is a feature of the aves. We do not have a light bony skeleton. We have a very heavy skeleton, right? That's why you are that much heavy than a bird, right? The next one is testes are present outside the body. Testes outside body. I am pretty sure you have never ever seen testes of a bird outside the body, right? If so, it will be really funny, right? So only mammalia have this feature. So the answer should be the 4-chambered heart or the presence of eyelids. I think you have seen those eyelids of the birds. They are the eyelids. So birds have those eyelids, right? And as mammals, we also have the eyelids. And the presence of 4-chambered heart. Yes, both of them have the 4-chambered heart. Then the both are correct answers. Then we can give the correct answers as the first one and the second one. I will give you the correct marks for the first and second both. 13th one. What is the way of storing carbohydrates within animal bodies? Okay. We store carbohydrates. There are 3 types of polysaccharides. What are they? They are the starch, glycogen and the cellulose. So the starch is the type of carbohydrate that we store inside the plant bodies, and the glycogen is the type of carbohydrate that we store in animal bodies. So the answer should be the glycogen or the first one for the 13th question. For the 14th question, the special reproductive structure formed by modification of a vegetative bud or a flower bud. I hope you have seen these things as well. The answers are bulbils. Bulbils. And the next one is cone. Next one is bulb. Next one is suckers. Okay. Suckers are kind of roots, right? So bulbils means you have seen these bulbils of pineapple. We call this as the bulbils, and they are a part of a flower bud or a modification of a vegetative bud. Cone means alocasia, colocasia, like this. The stem is like this. In Sinhala we call them kahala, habarala. So they are the examples for the cone. And bulb means those onions, leeks, the bulb that they have. All these are the underground stems, right? Onions, leeks. Suckers means a type of roots. Those suckers can be seen in plants like banana, and yes, bulbils is the answer for this question. Bulbils is the answer for the 14th question. 15th one, the ability to respond to stimuli received from internal and external environment is called. Stimulus means the things that make you react to them. Like when you hear someone is clapping, you look at that, right? When you smell a good smell, you feel that, right? You can smell it. So those smell, sound, then vicious, things that you can see with your eyes, things that you can taste with your tongue, they are called the stimulus that induce a reaction in yourself, right? Then irritability means the ability to respond. Irritability, it's an ability, right? The answer is inside this word, irritability. The ability to respond to those stimulus is called the irritability. And I have a small task for you. Find the meanings of those, coordination and the homeostasis, and send me a message after finding those two definitions, coordination and homeostasis. But the answer for this question is the third one. 16th question, correct regarding relative atomic mass. What is called relative atomic mass? Relative means it's relative to something, right? Think that there is a... Okay, I will erase this first. Okay, think that there is an elephant. Like that. There is an elephant and there is a person. The weight of the person is, let's take 20 kilogram, and weight of the elephant, mass of the elephant is 500 kilograms. So, in relative to the human, what is the mass of the elephant? In relative, how many times does the element weights than the human? You can say it 10 times as the mass of the human. So we can say the mass of the elephant in relative to the mass of the man, right? So at the same time, we can use this theory for the mass of the elements, mass of the atoms, molecules as well, because they are really small, right? So we can say that in relative to a larger mass. So the relative atomic mass is, let's see the answers. The number 1 is, it's the true mass of an atom of an element. Relative. Then can it be the true mass? No. It's a relative mass. It's not the true mass, right? Second one, the mass of 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 atoms of an element. This 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 means we give it a name called the Avogadro constant. So it means the mass of 1 mole. So it's the molar mass, right? If there are 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 atoms in a mixture, in a element, we call it the whole mass as the molar mass, because we call this number as a mole. If there are this amount of humans in a city, we can call it that city contain 1 mole of humans. If there are this much of flowers in a bucket, we can call there is a 1 mole of flowers, right? So the mass of a 1 mole we call is the molar mass. It's not the relative atomic mass. Next one, the mass relative to the mass of an atom of C12-6 isotope. Let's see. It means like that. We tell the mass of an atom relative to the, as we use human here, they are telling that we are using the mass of the C12-6 isotope relative to the mass of an atom. Let's see. Next one, the mass relative to 1/12 mass of C12-6 isotope. It means we divide its mass by 12 and taking the whole thing as the relative atomic mass. Yes, it's the correct thing, right? So the relative atomic mass is taken relative to the 1/12 of the mass of the C12-6 isotope. So the answer should be the fourth one. If you can't remember this lesson, please refer the 7th lesson of your textbook, right? Grade 10 textbook. 17th one, a successful nomenclature. Nomenclature means namakarana, right? The theory that you use to name organisms, right? You use that theorem to give names for the organisms. So the successful nomenclature for organisms was introduced by, the successful one was introduced by Carolus Linnaeus. As I remember, it's during the period of 1753. And so the answer should be the second one, obviously. And the third answer is Gregor Mendel. I'm pretty sure you have an idea about Gregor Mendel, because he's the person who have done a lot of researches about the genetics, and we call it as the father of genetics, right? You can find about him as well. It's also in your textbook. And Dmitry Mendeleev, the great chemist, we can call him a chemist, who introduced the modern periodic table. And the first one is the Charles Darwin. He have found the theories about the evolution, or the how humans are evolved from their ancestors and the species that they are evolving from. We call it in simple as Parinama. Parinamavade Pia is the Charles Darwin, right? Okay, so the answer is the second one. The successful nomenclature was introduced by Carolus Linnaeus. Next one, the 18th question. Velocity time graph for the motion of an object which till it reaches ground, when it is projected velocity upward at an initial velocity of u. Let's see. It's all about a velocity time graph. It's a motion of an object till it reaches ground. It means velocity upwards. We throw it upward. Let's think it's a ball with the initial velocity of u. Then it moves upward and comes to the floor again, right? So we need to draw the velocity time graph for this. So the first thing that you should know is at the maximum height that the object can reach, the velocity is 0, right? Okay, then let's draw a very simple velocity time graph. At the beginning is the velocity 0? No, it has a velocity of u. So the initial velocity is u, then it reaches 0. At its maximum height it becomes 0, and again it has to come towards the ground. So the velocity is again increasing. It should be like that. It can be whether equal to u, less than u, or greater than u as well, right? We can't assume that because it's not in your question. So don't think about that, right? Just focus on what's in your question. So the answer is the fourth one. 19th one. The standard form of an atom of aluminium. We have to talk about the aluminium. Number of protons is 13 and the number of neutrons is 14. Okay. When you have to write the right elements in a standard way, you have to write their mass number in this corner and their atomic number in this corner. So the mass number equals number of protons plus number of neutrons. Atomic number is equals to the number of protons. So it's very easy, right? Aluminium, the mass number equals 13 plus 14, it means 27, and the number of protons is 30. So this is the answer. The answer is third one for the 19th question. Okay, then let's move to the 20th question. It's all about the moment. Moment is also a very famous question in your provincial papers and all over paper as well. Nowadays they are using some complex theories about the moments. We will find them when we are discussing the past paper questions because we are still in the provincial level. So the two forces 8 Newton are applied at two ends of 50 centimeter aluminium strip. I will draw this, right? There are two forces as 8 Newtons and they are pivoted at the point called 0. It's 25 centimeters and from here to here it's also 25 centimeters. What is the moment of couple of forces? Okay. So this is a couple of forces. How to identify couple of forces? If we consider two people as a couple, they should have something common, right? Otherwise we can't call them a couple, right? Two unknown people with very different characteristics of them which are identical to them, so we can't call them as a couple, right? There may be some of them, but we do not call them as a couple, right? So here also they have the same magnitude, both have the magnitude of 8 newtons and they are opposite in direction. It can be happen in a couple as well. You two may have, those two people may have two different directions when in their attitudes or something, so two different directions, and they have their line of actions are parallel to each other, so we can call them as a couple of forces, right? They are couple of forces. When finding the moment of couple of forces, it will be different than the normal equation. Moment of couple of forces is taken as magnitude of one force, because both have the same value, multiplied by perpendicular distance between them. Perpendicular distance between them. So you can take 8 multiplied by, what is the distance between them? 50 centimeters. But remember, when you do the calculations about the moment means it's like the ability to rotate or something, right? The ability to rotate around a certain point. So this two forces can, I will show you, right? If these two forces are like this is to this direction and this force is to the downward direction. If you use both of these forces, you can rotate this strip around this point, right? So we call them as a couple of forces. You can experience them in a steering wheel and then opening a tap, right? So it's a very common questions. It's very common question to ask you examples for the instances that you experience those couple of forces as well. So let's find the answer. But when you find the momentum of couple of forces, so any question related to the momentum, be sure to turn it into the SI units or the meters. To convert centimeters into meters, you need to divide it by 100. So it's 2. The answer is 4 Newton meters. Because the force is Newton and the distance SI unit 8 meters, the final answer is 4 Newton meters. I will tell you the number. It's the number 2. Second answer. Okay, if you lost your mind, lost your memory about momentum, please go and refer. If you have any question about that, you can ask me, right? But refer. Then the 21st question, correct regarding HF molecule is, okay, I have sent you a video about finding the polarity of the components, right? I suggest you to watch you again if you have struggled to do this question. First, I will draw this one, HF molecule. So H is a element. H is a element which has a less electronegativity than fluorine, and fluorine is the element with highest electronegativity. So you can remember the 4 elements. I have been telling you this trick for a long time now. I hope you can remember the 4 elements with highest electronegativities in the periodic table are 4 and 4. So fluorine is the highest. Fluorine is the one with the highest electronegativity. So what is electronegativity? I will tell it to you in an easy way. Electronegativity is how much eager to the electrons, right? It's about the eagerness of these elements towards the electrons. Electrons are the කොච්චර කැමතිද කියන එක. හරි? පෙරේවිද කියන එක. In simple, right? Okay. These bonds represent 2 electrons, right? So less electronegativity. It means they do not like electrons much. They allow the other person to attract these electrons to itself. So the charge of electrons is negative. What happens when you remove negative people from yourself, right? There may be some negative people who are always telling you the negative thoughts, who are trying to fill you with the negative thoughts. So what happens when you try to remove them from your surrounding? You become slightly positive. You're starting to get positive thoughts, right? And what happens when you attract those negative people? You also become one of the negative people, right? So at the same time, hydrogen get a slight positive charge. At the same time, fluorine get a slight negative charge. Okay, let's read the answers. Electrons of the bond of HF distribute symmetrically. Is it correct? No. Fluorine is much eager about the electrons, so it attracts more electrons. It's not symmetrical. It can be symmetrical if symmetrical if both elements are the same, like oxygen. So their eagerness is equal. They like the electrons in same level. So the electrons are symmetrically shared between them. But here the situation is totally different. There is a one person who is very like to have electrons, the other person let them go, right? Okay, so the first one is incorrect. It's not symmetrical, it's asymmetrical. HF bond is a non-polar covalent bond. Non-polar. If they get charged as this positive and negative, you can simply call it as a polar compound. So is this non-polar? No, it's a polar, right? So the second one also incorrect. Third one, slight negative charge is received due to excessive attraction of bond electrons towards hydrogen atom. Is it correct? No, it takes what? It gets a slight positive charge. It's not attracting electrons, it's repelling electrons from itself, right? Because its electronegativity is very low when compared to the fluorine. Next one, last one. It should be the answer, right? Because all the three other sentences are wrong. You can get the answer as the fourth one. HF molecule exists in charged state due to presence of slight charges on H and F. Slight means it do not get a total positive charge because it's not completely giving this electron to the fluorine. It just let it go towards fluorine. ෆ්ලෝරින් පැත්තට යන්න දෙනවා විතරයි ළමයි. හරි සම්පූර්ණ ඉලෙක්ට්‍රෝන එක ගලවලා මෙයාට දෙන්නේ නැහැ. එච්චර selfless නැහැ. හරි. Fluorine is a very selfish person. It's attracting the electrons belongs to hydrogen to itself, right? But it's not something that's giving totally. It's a slight charge. We show the slight charge as like this. Slight positive and slight negative. Okay, so the answer is the fourth one. Then let's move to the 22nd question. It's a very easy one, right? 22nd question is an easy one. The way of acting forces and cuboidal shape object is given in the diagram. What is the resultant force acting on the object? There is object like this. 6 newtons here, 13 to this direction, 6 to here, 4 to here. So the 6 to 6 is cancelled, they are cancelled each other, and 4 to here, 13 to here. Just think, someone is pulling me with the 30 Newton force to this direction, and there is another person who is pulling me with 4 Newton force to this direction. Then I will be dragged towards this direction, right? Okay, so what is the result then? It's very easy. 13 minus 4, it's 9, right? 9 newtons to this direction. The answer is the first one. 23rd one, the organic compound that consists CHONP. I will tell you a short way to remember those elemental compositions of the biomolecules. We can call it as CHO. Okay, so CHO is carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. It's the elemental composition of two main biomolecules. They are the carbohydrates and the lipids. Okay, it's very easy to remember CHO. Then there is CHONs. Sometimes it's carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sometimes is this is about the elemental composition of proteins. And the last one is CHON. It's for the nucleic acids like DNA and RNA. CHON, P means lamai, phosphorus, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and phosphorus. So the answer should be, they are asking for the CHON, right? I have been telling you about these short tricks when you came first to the grade 10 as well. So it's a very live example to prove that they are coming for your exam, right? So the answer should be the nucleic acid or the third answer. Next one, 24th one. What is the response that contain only crystalline form among the allotrophic form of carbon? Okay. Okay, so in carbon and in other elements as well, there are two forms as the crystalline form and the amorphous form. Okay, so if they have two basic forms, we can call them as allotrophic forms. Allotropes. It means having different features, having different components in the elements. So we can divide them into several groups, right? If we take carbon, there is a crystalline form. It's very solidic, right? Crystalline, it's very tough. And the other one is amorphous. Amorphous means like a powder. It's very brittle, like that. So the crystalline forms are diamond. I know you know diamond. It's one of the hardest substances in the world. So the diamond and fullerene, they are the crystalline forms. And graphite. Graphite means the compound that you find in the tip of your pencil. So graphite, in Sinhala we call it minidan. Graphite, coal, anguru, and soot means dali, right? Liberian dali. So they are the powdered forms or the amorphous forms, and they are the crystalline forms. Okay. So the answer should be the first one, which contain both diamond and fullerene. Next up, 25th question. The ion that shows the electronic configuration similar to the electronic configuration of neon. So the atomic number of neon is 10. You can write the electronic configuration as 2 and 8. They are asking which ion has the same number of electronic configuration. Then you need to find which ion has the same number of electrons. Very easy. If you get Cl, there is Cl here, Cl. What is the atomic number? The atomic number of Cl is 17, right? So the electronic configuration, you don't need the electronic configuration actually. Cl minus means they have taken another electron. I have told you to become negative, you have to attract negative people. So it has attracted an electron. As a result, it can get a negative charge. So 18 electrons. If we consider oxygen, there are 8 electrons, but it's 2 minus. It means how many electrons have added? Okay, 2 extra electrons have added. So it has 10 electrons now. I will consider the other two as well. Calcium is 20. Calcium plus means to get a positive charge, you need to remove the negative paper. So it has removed 1 electron and have taken their atomic number as the 19, or the number of electrons as 19. And the last one, lithium. The atomic number is 3. It means it has 3 protons at the same time 3 electrons. But lithium plus means it has removed 1 electron from that. So the answer should be the O2 minus. Same as the neon. The answer for the 25th question is the second one. Okay, then the 26th question. After few minutes of this experiment, the compound X is put into the colorless liquid which remains on the glass plate. Okay. After few minutes of this experiment, the compound X put into a colorless liquid which remains on the glass plate. Then the color X changed from white to blue. Okay. They are burning some food here and They are having a glass plate here and they are eating this food. So they have seen some colorless droplets here. We don't know what is that. Colorless droplets. And they are putting a substance called X to this. They are putting a substance called X. Then X turns from white to light blue. White to light blue. So what is the substance that convert to white to light blue when they white to light blue when they are in contact with colorless substance? This colorless substance should be water, right? You don't have any idea about if you don't have any idea about this practical, please refer under the subtopic water in the first lesson of your part 1 textbook in grade 10. So this substance should be anhydrous copper sulfate, which turns to hydrous copper sulfate when they are reacting with water. So the answer should be the third one. And you can find what happens if we add cobalt chloride to water. Anhydrous cobalt chloride, I'm sorry, right? Anhydrous cobalt chloride. Right? You need to find what happens to anhydrous cobalt chloride when they react with water. Find this. It's in your textbook, right? Find the color of anhydrous cobalt chloride and find the color change after the reaction with water as well. Okay, then the next question is 27th one, which is not a physical property of a metal. Something very easy. I'm pretty sure you have been learning about metals from grade 6, right? Metals and non-metals, it's very familiar thing, right? Okay, so the metals, first one is giving sonorous sound on striking. Yes, of course. I have a key with me. So if I drop this, you will hear that sonorous sound, right? Okay, that's the sonorous sound. So metals basically make this sonorous sound. So it's not the answer. In the second one, making alkaline solutions by dissolving of oxides in water. Making alkaline solutions by dissolving in oxides in water. Alkaline means basic, right? As an example, if you mix magnesium oxide with water, you are getting magnesium hydroxide. This is a base, right? Alkaline, it's correct. But is this a physical property? It's a chemical property, right? It's a chemical property, it's not a physical property. So the answer should be the second one. No need to read the other two as well. The other two is about the density and the luster. They are the physical properties. Luster means the shiny surface that they have. So look, you can see how these metals are shining, right? So they have the lustrous nature, right? The answer is the second one. 28th one. The diagram shows the way of formation of chemical bonds in a certain compound. The compound may be. It's also really easy. Let's see how to get the answer. Okay, very easy, right? There are 4 atoms around this. Their answers are carbon tetrachloride. It means CCl4. Sorry, CCl4. Second one is ammonia. It means NH3. Third one is methane, CH4. And the next one is water or the H2O. So as you can see, 4 other atoms around the center atom. It cannot be H2O or the ammonia, right? It cannot be the H2O or the ammonia. It cannot be the H2O or the ammonia. It can be CH4 or the CCl4. But how many electrons are shared with this central atom? Only 2, right? Only 2 electrons. So, chlorine cannot be like this because it's a very large atom. Its atomic number is 17. So, it contains 2, 8, 7 electrons with them. So, hydrogen is only 1. The atomic number is 1. It's sharing 1 electron with the middle atom. And the middle atom also sharing 1 electron with that, so they form this bond. Then it should be the CH4, right? Okay, if it's chlorine, there should be these other electrons around them as well. But here there is only 2 electrons. One is shared by, one is given to the bond by hydrogen and the other one from the carbon. Okay, the answer should be the methane. Third one. 29th one.